Good morning.
Good morning. We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back to Where You Live. I'm Gene Sullivan, and I'm broadcasting from the True North Painting Studios. The show is brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency, and Extreme Exteriors. Before we get back into our show, I'd like to remind our listeners we've got a free gift for you. We put together a bi-monthly newsletter called What's New. A lot of what we talk about on the show is covered in further detail in the newsletter. People that are on the show are people who write for the newsletter as well. It's yours free for the asking. Give us a call at New Concepts during the week at 952-922-2500. Ask for Lori, and she'll make sure that you start receiving your subscription either electronically or by mail. Let's just wrap it up here with the top 6 complaints HOA members have with their HOAs in Arizona. We talked about the association doing too much, getting involved in too much of people's lives. And then the converse of that, people said they don't do enough. People said, I don't know how the money is spent. The other complaint is people say they don't know how maintenance is addressed. And the last thing that I'll just comment on this one, and then we'll move on here, is there are some other dynamics that perhaps if you're living in an HOA that you should remember. And that is, could it be, when you stop and think about it, if your HOA does not have money for all of the things that you would like to see done, could it be that decision to not want to see the monthly assessments go up when you were given the chance to vote on whether or not to raise the dues or not, could have been a reason that there isn't enough money? It's one thing to take a look at. How about delinquencies? Are you aware of what's going on and how that might affect your ability? We talked about financially in the last segment. You need to realize that you are in a contractual, private agreement between yourselves and the other owners of the association. As a nonprofit organization, you are only successful if every member is doing their part in regularly paying that monthly assessment so that you have the operation funds that you need to take care of the services that you expect. If you have a number of people who aren't taking care of their fair share, aren't pulling their weight, what you end up having with a nonprofit organization is not sufficient funds. And then the tough decisions need to be made by a board. Essential versus discretionary items. You know, you've got those essential items like the insurance. You got to have insurance on the property in case of a disaster. What's another essential? How about snow plowing? That's a pretty big one. How about water? If water is supplied, can't live in your home without water. So those are essentials. And a lot of times you'll see the costs going up on those. And if people aren't paying, then there isn't enough money there. That means the discretionary items, these are things that aren't unimportant, but you have more discretion as to when you can tackle them. So some of the painting goes a little bit longer without it being addressed. Certain maintenance items don't get attended to as quickly. All of that is because of the governance of you together with that group of people. And so you need to realize that you are financially attached at the hip with all of those other people. Your financial well-being is attached to their financial well-being. Some people haven't been aware of that in an HOA.